So we are looking at Kick-Ass and Thunder, which again, don't have the best angle on from where I am in the booth, but it is 0-0, 3 minutes in. And a clash between two of the purplest teams in the tournament. Looks like we got Roe, Jaguad, and O'Quinn. Ooh, great windmill throw by O'Quinn again. And just one Thunder player remaining. My apologies to that team because I really do not know their names. And I can't see their numbers to look them up. And it looks like Sean Rowe stepped over the center line. So that brings it to a 2-on-1. Shot clock is on Thunder. Goes across. Ooh. McQuinn looking for that counter. And we got a bounce. Oh, and just a graze. Looks like it takes out the Thunder player, and we've got 1-0 for Kick-Ass after the first set. Meanwhile, we will shortly be showing Armada and Looney Tunes. In the meantime, we're happy to bring you the other women's semifinal match. And right as I say it, we are back over to the Avonlea Armada and Looney Tunes out of Ontario.
Just to bring you all back up to speed for anyone just joining us, I'm Stacey Hewen.
And I'm Terry Thrasher.
And we have been streaming the National Dodgeball Championships live since Friday.
I mean, I've been playing in it for part of that, but my team got knocked out.
Yep. Terry doing a great job taking over for John Ferreira, who had to go leave and take care of an issue where I believe his apartment got broken into.
Oh, that's not cool.
Absolutely. Definitely not something that you want to happen while you're having a good time streaming.
I mean, I don't know that there's any time you want that to happen, but yeah, we wish him the best. So Looney Tunes had finished as the 7th seed in the round robin coming into playoffs. Armada, I believe, the 4th seed.
Absolutely. Looney Tunes with an upset on Prairie Fire, taking a very decisive victory over the 2nd seed.
Now we got a false start. Clock hadn't even started to wind down. We've already had to reset. You can see Somerville back in the game, rolling out the shoulder. I'm not sure if that's what had taken her out of the earlier match.
I can't tell if that's just a wisp of hair by her ear or if she's got earphones in. I think it's just hair.
I think so.
Is that another false start?
And we've got Ref O'Reilly in the back calling out something.
Oh, Armada is already using up their... so you get one free false start before you have to sit a player for the round. You get one free false start per half. And they've already used it up.
And...
no, what's happening here?
Okay, we don't know what's going on.
We're trying to get the game started. Everyone seems to be jumping the gun, and because of that, nothing is happening.
In the meantime, a quick update from the other side. It looks like there was a quick set that Kick-Ass took to go up 2-0 over Thunder. So after a long first set, the second one didn't take quite as long.
Absolutely. It means that Thunder will have to come from down under.
We are false start free now.
That's right, we can actually get into this match.
So the burden will be on Armada to throw first, as they're the higher seed coming into this one. Good throw across from Hale and Sky, one of the two captains. A member of the women's national team last year. And I think that is Jen Rempel got knocked out. So Looney Tunes with the early 6-on-5 advantage. We see a couple of throws from the middle of the Armada line missing. Cooper driving the Armada players back.
Absolutely. If you look at the center of Armada, player number 15 has been putting on a great show this tournament, getting the catching position, trying to bait people to throw at her. Just in general, showing a lot of confidence.
Ooh,
Shot
just
goes,
missing.
Yeah, right between Cooper and Somerville.
That's true. I've seen her make several really, really good catches. and shots towards Sky, missing. Now beside her, that is, I believe, Rachel Creamer. It's calling shots. They're going for Abu Risk. Just missing. Now we see the throws toward the other corner. Oh, that ball. A little bit of a journey on the way to Fam in the wing, but...
Absolutely. MP Fam, fantastic player. Abu Risk taking 2 to the right side.
Yeah, good shots from the PEI players.
Absolutely. It would appear now that Manitoba has been knocked completely out of the tournament. The stands have thinned out a little bit. I imagine a lot of people went home after their kids were gone, but hey, we stayed for your kids. And there's still the bronze medal game for them to play too. Important reminder.
Fam hit out from that wing.
Absolutely. Also, a great chance to watch some great players play dodgeball that you won't normally get to see.
Oh, and there's a good grab by Somerville. Now Cooper getting the ball back, threatening, but not electing to take that shot at the huddle from the Armada. There's a throw toward James missing, and one going across from Creamer at Cooper.
Absolutely. 4-ball advantage for Looney Tunes. Now, for anybody who's unfamiliar with dodgeball, throw has to happen every 10 seconds. And there's an order to which a team is required to throw. First of all, it's referred to as burden. Oh, number 2 getting called for a ball hitting her shoe.
Probably blocked down and into her leg, I guess.
Anyway, as I was explaining burden before, the team with the most balls has to throw first. If they have the same number of balls, the team with the most players must throw first. If they have the same number of balls and players, it goes by whoever didn't throw last. So they take turns. Now, if nobody's thrown yet this round, it's whoever's placed higher in the seed. Oh, sorry, it's whoever won the last round, and if nobody's won a round yet, then it's whoever placed higher in the seed. Now, it's important to remember the throw clock is reset by either side, so it doesn't matter if you have burden or not. If the opposing team throws, it'll still reset the clock. James there with a block.
And Somerville on the other side with a block.
Absolutely. Somerville arching her back, making a place for the ball shaker to just place the ball.
Good job of going low under that counterattack.
Absolutely.
And a shot. Oh, James ready to call herself out, but the referee saying, nope, that bounced.
Number 16 gets knocked out. Leaves us down 1 versus 3. Now, I know we got a lot of players from PI in the comments. Do we have anybody rooting for Looney Tunes?
I'm sure there's someone.
Absolutely. Let us know who you're rooting for in the chat.
That throw from James. Oh,
nice block there. James missing the block. Number 15 shaking her head about something. Oh, number 7 hit on the counter, leaving just 15 versus 6. The true test of a woman, 1v1. Do you have what it takes? 15. She's been looking for catches. Look, she's in a catching position. She decides better and blocks.
That was a neat little quick release throw.
Absolutely. Look at that block. We're
Again,
seeing great skills all around from this woman.
and ooh, just missing.
Her hat dislodging a little bit. Many players have different ideas of what they're going to use to keep their hair in check. Some use a headband, some use a knot, some use a bun. Oh, there we go.
Catch we were talking about.
Slams it into the ground after. That's confidence. Oh, hold on. She stepped on the back line.
Oh.
Referee calling it. They are not going to be happy about that.
That is a tough break.
She effortlessly made that catch, too.
Yeah, she was set up and ready, but maybe just a little too far back.
That's right. She was calm and ready.
1-0 Looney Tunes off what I'm going to call a fortunate break.
Yeah, that is a tough break.
Oh,
Just want to say, though, good reffing. It's really hard to make that call, especially after everyone's already celebrating and the other team has accepted it.
Yep.
But what's right is right.
Creamer with a great throw off the rush there, outside her body and onto Veronica Berry.
Aberisk looking for a ball, but none are available. Oh, a nice counter on 17, but then Somerville also gets knocked down.
And we've got, I think that was a clean block.
Absolutely.
So we see Armada coming up. 4 players with balls in hand. Throws at Morrison. Doesn't look like anything connected, though. But an Armada player lost in the transition. So now we see 4-on-4. And, oh, there's a good
18
1 for
Wilson
1.
with the dirty block.
Yeah, and Somerville knocked out on the other side. 3-on-3 now. Trivedi calling the shots. And both throws going toward the wing. And I like it. There's the overhand fake, the underhand fake. Don't let him know what you're going to do.
Dalton McKenzie, crowd favorite, shagging for Avonlea Armada.
Morrison hit out there. 2 balls coming in.
Absolutely. Having trouble reading Travelta's name on the back of her. Oh.
Fama with the aggression. Oh, I think. Yep. Thought that might have caught her in the eye or something, but she seems to be fine. But yeah.
Oh.
Way to close those points out from Armada. We got a 1-1 score.
Absolutely.
Update from the other side. It looks like Kick-Ass is up 5-1. Now off the rush, we see that was a good shot from Creamer, but
yeah. We're just getting your names because we can't read the back of their jerseys, so we're going to be making those connections for the next minute or two.
Yeah, we'll get better.
That was a deadly hit there on number 17, Sky. See Barry looking for a shot. And again, Pinette, I believe it is, showing her skills in the wings, not just a center.
And we see there, that was the shot toward, I believe that's Walker.
Absolutely.
And we see Trivedi hit out.
Absolutely devastating. Pinette, though, with a great block. Barry not able to find her mark. I want to say we've been seeing some very exciting women's games throughout this entire tournament. The metagame has just evolved in such a way that the women are playing a very fast, exciting game. It's a little looser than it was last year. A little less disciplined, a little more just raw talent and athleticism on display, and I think that viewers are enjoying it quite a bit. I certainly am.
I think it may also just be confidence in their throws. I feel like there's a lot more accuracy, at least that I'm seeing, and
for sure,
it makes it possible to play those quicker points.
Absolutely. I'm enjoying the way that the game is evolving, especially with the rules tweaks that came out, I think it was around September, with the invalid throw rule, something we haven't mentioned so far since it hasn't been an issue in this tournament since people know better than to break it, but your throw has to look like it was intended to go at someone. It doesn't matter if it goes wide or high, as long as it's clear that you weren't turfing a ball. If you're looking to just reset the throw timer or to avoid getting caught, that's not okay. That's a very subjective rule. It's refs trying to read the intention of the throw, but they won't reset a throw clock for you if they think that you're just trying to play it. You for sure can't just drop a ball over the line. Nice thing about that too is that used to be part of the meta game, and it was a really great way to just raise the temperature in the room. People not a fan of that.
We see Somerville taking a shot at the rival number 16, Walker. Missing a little bit high. Creamer with the big fakes, and we got some cross courts. Barry hit out.
Absolutely. Actually, that reminds me of one of my favorite team names I've ever seen. Is in Draft League, we had a captain named Michael Bailey who was playing on the individual team Velocity this season. His team name was Bailey's Irish Creamers. One of my favorite team names I've ever seen from somebody naming a team after themselves. Now back to this game, Armada has called a play, and they're on the offensive. Nice underhand throw there from Moore.
Yep. Somerville head out. Could not push off to get toward that ball as it popped up off of her. Yeah, we've got 3-on-3.
These teams have just locked horns.
Oh, James with the throw. Ooh, and the counter by Creamer to take her out. 2-on-2 now. That was a nice block.
Absolutely. Deflected that ball. Shager having to go underneath the gym desk.
Yep, Moore with a great block to make sure she stayed safe.
Oh, feeling it out. Now, one thing I want to notice here is that not only is the score going up 1 point at a time, but they've been knocking the players down one player at a time. No team with any clear advantage at any point in this game. Unfortunately, Moore just drops that ball right into the ground while trying to throw a low underhand.
It's usually what it looks like when I try to throw the underhand. Creamer with the block. Shot missing on Moore. Cooper not quite finding the accuracy there. Creamer, ooh, aggressive shot at Morrison who retaliates. Creamer goes low under it. Oh, and Creamer just tagged as she looked away for just a moment to find that ball, leaving Moore alone against the two Looney Tunes members. Morrison going low under the shot. Moore again looking for the windmill.
Now that windmill shot has been right on target. That could have easily connected with Morrison had she not blocked it.
Good blocks again by Moore.
Now, as I understand, there are a lot of young guns from PEI and just from the coast in general. As I understand it, it's not just on Riptide. Armada also has some youngins.
Morrison, was that a catch? Nope.
No,
Must have just been off the ground.
Yeah, the ball also, one of them just went right behind. Look, she's just feeling out her opponents, switches her. Oh, dirty block. So for those of you just joining us, a dirty block is not... Again, it's not malicious. It just means that while you're blocking with the ball, the live ball also made some sort of contact with your body, meaning that you are out. It's not a clean block.
I'm assuming that's where the term comes from. It's just like a clean block
And a dirty
is
block.
one thing, and the opposite of that must be the dirty block.
I just remember the first time I was called on a dirty block, I went from upset to happy because I'd never heard the term before, and I thought it was pretty good.
I remember playing in a tournament in Detroit where, for a while, if you blocked, like dirty blocks still meant you were safe. So if an incoming ball touched the ball you were blocking with at all, that ball went dead.
Yes,
So-
that was the rules that we used to use in Winnipeg with Winnipeg Rec League, which is the first dodgeball league here. It was very much recreational.
Oh,
wow.
great effort there.
Wow.
Renee making the catch off the shot onto her foot.
I have been very impressed by this player this entire tournament.
Yeah, great awareness, great athleticism to reach that ball.
I'm enjoying her bravado.
Oh, Pham hit the line when she extended back trying to dodge there.
Nabu Risk got nailed on the inside of the leg while trying to dodge. Now, I just want to send a shout out to Danny Boo 24 who referenced somebody named Mr. Pockets. I used to have a hedgehog named Pockets. Fun fact. Actually, it was one of the first memes I ever front page Reddit with, was a picture of him hitting on a comb. Or a brush, sorry.
I mean, I guess that's a somewhat fun fact.
Yep.
I have more questions, though.
About the hedgehog or the brush?
We'll get to those later.
Sounds good.
Armada, ooh, great hits. Trivedi and James knocked out. It's just Cooper. Connor Cooper out of Ottawa.
Yep. Just one woman versus an entire armada.
You might be forgiven for wondering why, if her left shoulder looks like that, her first name's not Katie, but that is just tape intended to help with the muscle soreness over the course of a long tournament.
Yep, I've mentioned this multiple times on the other days, but you know it's called KT tape, right? So you know it stands for kinesiology tape, which I find infuriating.
Yeah, kinesthesiology or something like that. There are a bunch of bonus syllables in that word.
Yeah, kinesthetics I think is what they study. I don't know. I know there's also Department of Kinesiology at the University of Manitoba. But either way, if you want to buy KT tape, you just have to go to the ABM machine and enter your PIN number to withdraw money.
I don't like calling it the ATM machine or ABM machine because, like, the M already stands for machine.
And the T already stands for tape.
Yeah. Well, either way, we got a 2-2 score.
They should just rename it Katie Tape. Like short for Caitlin, just Katie Tape.
Oh, that was a good shot onto Barry. Removing her from the point early again.
Absolutely. She's going to have a chance to rest if this goes long, but if there's a catch, which I can expect.
Close to the foot of Trivedi. She's confirming with the ref that it did bounce in first. So.
Absolutely. Now, I know we all know who Trivedi is, but it's been frustrating trying to read her jersey with her hair blocking it so effectively.
5-on-5 now. You see a good cross onto Somerville, hitting her.
Fam with a dirty block.
Yeah, also hit out. Armada really connecting on those throws. Abu Risk calling the shot now. And 2 balls going in on Taylor and taking her out.
Looks like we've got support for both teams in the stream. Morrison with a very unbelievable fake, nobody flinching. You can see she didn't pull her arm all the way back, so everybody read it right.
Yeah, it's the important, like, once players catch on, it's possible that they'll be able to figure out your fake motion from your throw motion, unless it's really good.
Like a good poker player reading your bluffs, dodgeball players have to do the same, but luckily they get to see full body motions while they're trying to get a read on you.
You saw Trivedi and Panay trading, and Morrison got hit on the shots there from both Creamer and Walker, so now it's just down to Abu Risk. 1-on-3.
She did it against, I believe she did it against Prairie Fire, so it's possible she could do it against Armada. Now we've managed to make up for some lost time. The 2 courts not synced up because we had a sudden death and a subsequent overtime round.
1 ball getting moved back over to the Armada, I think. A bad grab by one of the Shaggers. So
balls have to start and play, I believe.
I don't think so for this. This is just a...
Oh, maybe that's just for sudden death and overtime.
Yeah. Throw from Abu Risk missing. Sky going low and under that ball.
Absolutely. Creamer moving up on the court.
Abu Risk. Oh, Sky is falling out of the point here. Now we just have Creamer and Walker remaining. Gonna try and close this one out. Ooh. That throw hitting the floor before it hit Abu Risk.
These teams are just like 2 huge animals that have locked horns and are just pushing. Neither team giving any ground.
Abu Risk going low.
Oh, on the fingers.
Reaching a little bit. And now we've got a 3-2 lead for the Armada. And as an update, the first half is in a sudden death point between Kickass and Thunder. Kickass up 9-1 currently.
Scoreboard reading kind of funny. Reading Kickass, and then on the other side, Undi.
Yeah,
I think somebody having a little trouble with the typing. Shot going right between Fam and Trivedi.
Yeah, sometimes when there are 6 people on the other side, it's like, how could I miss all of them? But I've done that my share.
Absolutely. Aim is not my specialty, so when I just wind up to crank it and there's 6 players on the other side of the court, you aim in a general direction.
Aim at the cluster. If there's no cluster, well, hope, I guess. Timeout called by James, the captain of Looney Tunes. 2:11 remaining. Might as well use that timeout.
Yeah, both these teams actually just full of women of smaller stature, so they're actually able to leave some space between each other. But when you see teams of real broad-shouldered people, sometimes there's just no space between them when they're on a proper regulation court. It can be very difficult for them to get out of the way when people are throwing.
Just as a quick update from the other court, Kickass did take the sudden death point to end the first half, so they're up 10-1.
Oh, Crocomoth wants a rundown of the rules. We use the World Dodgeball Federation rules. You're welcome to Google WDBF or to go to the Dodgeball Manitoba website and check out the rules for this event. But we'll give you a rundown from the way it's going. So in the opening rush, each team runs to the 3 balls on their side. Those balls must travel over the black activation line 10 feet back. Then those balls are free to be thrown from anywhere on the court. Oh, a nice catch from Creamer.
Before she got hit out, made the play.
So when a ball hits you, a live ball hits you, once it dies, you are dead. So the ball goes up in the air. Once it hits the ground, dead object, which is anything not in play, like a dead player or a basketball net or anything that's just not part of the game, that's when you're knocked out. If you catch a live ball, the player who threw it is out, and you revive the first player that was knocked out on your team. Players are revived in the order in which they were knocked out. You cannot step on or over the boundaries. That's the sideline, the back line, and the center line. The center line is allowed to be crossed during the opening rush and at no other time. Those are the basic rules of dodgeball, but we will give you more of a rundown as the situations become apparent. A lot of people think you only need 5 or 6 rules in dodgeball, but that's not true. We do have a full comprehensive rule book put out by the World Dodgeball Federation. And actually, our very own Alex Svetlowski from Dodgeball Canada has had a big say in the rules that are published.
Yeah, constantly tweaking them, trying to make sure the game is the best it's going to be.
Yeah, and also if you see the metagame evolving into something that just doesn't really seem to reflect the spirit of the game, they make changes to the rules, like the introduction of the invalid throw rule. The invalid throw rule is the one where it just requires that the intention of your throw be to hit a player. If it looks like you're just tossing a ball to reset the throw clock, or you're trying to turf a ball because you're worried about your opponent catching it, that is not acceptable. It doesn't reset the throw clock, and you only get one warning before you get... Oh! Wow, that was so close to a catch there.
Aburisk just couldn't quite squeeze that one.
Absolutely, but she was so close. There we go, a nice clean block from Taylor. Wilson talking to Taylor. Moore in the center, faking, while Sky takes the shot.
Yeah, Cooper with the block. Partnering with Somerville to figure out their plan of attack here. Both of those throws missing. Oh, good try by Sky. Oh, Somerville drops one, and Cooper hit out just as time expires, giving Armada the 4-2 lead. 4 straight points. And I think the refs are just talking about whether there will be sudden death. So one rule to note is if the point finishes before the clock reaches 0, sudden death will happen regardless. And sudden death is just one final point for the half in which no blocking is allowed, and the teams start with the balls in hand instead of the opening rush. So I think we're just figuring out if that's happening. One other rules point to note, you will probably have noticed that there are 3 players per side wearing pinnies. They are not members of the team necessarily, but they are the ball retrievers, or shaggers as they're colloquially called. Those players are essentially the only people allowed to fetch balls that have gone out of play. They're not allowed to touch any of the balls that are in play. They can just hand them or roll them back into the live players.
I got a question. Who here is new to dodgeball? Let us know in the chats below. If you're new to this and you're in the stream and watching it for the first time, if you've never played or if you've just started playing, let us know. If there's one thing that dodgeball is known for that League of Legends isn't, it's being nice to its noobs.
That reference is going to need some work.
I know that my co-host here, Terry, is a huge League of Legends fan. I was a StarCraft 2 fan until Heart of the Swarm came out, so I guess there's just a little friendly rivalry there. I think we can all agree that we all just watch Fortnite now.
Nope, that game's terrible. So come at me, chat.
Are you a PUBG fan?
Nope.
Not into the Battle Royale games at all?
No.
Oh, that makes sense.
Oh, Morrison with the catch on Wilson.
Oh, look at those dodges.
Hit out, though. One of those got her.
Absolutely, but she got some air there. There was hang time.
So this sudden death point, no blocking allowed. So you see players selling out for the dodges.
Panay getting hit in the fingertips.
Yeah, so
Creamer getting loaded up.
Walker on the other side. Oh, great hit onto Trevetti. Now 3-on-2. Barry, Pham, and James. Ooh, there's an aggressive shot, finding the mark. Another one toward Barry, missing.
Oh,
Pham
and
hit
Creamer.
out. Oh, Barry just avoiding that, and all of a sudden,
look at these trades.
Everybody playing it aggressively.
All these women's throws are right on target.
Barry maybe not controlling that ball, or maybe saying, I don't want that.
No,
Missing.
I think she wants to leave herself open for a catch after she throws.
Ooh, good throw, but now the charge. And it hits.
Paint her on the back.
Armada, 5 straight sets now.
To quote Cop Morty, "Want to see how I paint a floor? Oh, jeez." Just the way they nailed those shots into her back while she was dodging.
And so,
switching sides, Armada now with a much larger lead than we were expecting. I haven't been looking at the score for a few rounds. I felt like this was a dead heat, but actually it's 5-2 in favor of Armada.
Yeah, they've been doing such a good job of closing out these points. Looney Tunes going to need to recapture some momentum. They did get the first 2 sets of this match, but haven't been able to find anything since, even though they've been very, very close. Now off the rush.
Now for those of you who are watching in Winnipeg, after the game there will be the Dodgeball Winnipeg after party. Sorry, the National Dodgeball Championship after party presented by Dodgeball Winnipeg. My mistake. It'll be taking place at 441 Main Street. Free for everybody involved in the tournament. The volunteers, the referees, the athletes, and only $5 cover charge for those who are not involved. It'll be taking place again at 441 Main. We've got the whole venue rented out to ourselves, so there is no dress code. We expect lots of athletes to be there, so we don't expect everybody to be dressed up to the nines. A lot of people just want to be comfortable after playing 30 hours of dodgeball.
That's weird, but... Oh, and Walker hit out.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
trying to jump, but not able to get over them.
If you want to meet me, or even Stacy for some reason, you can come out to the after party.
Absolutely. Just a reminder that dinner was provided all 3 days of this tournament by Domino's Pizza. Ooh. And On Track Media donated the equipment that's made this stream possible.
Merson absorbing a shot to the head there. Seems to be fine. Oh, there's a great shot on a Rempel from Barry. Cooper missing on Moore.
Yeah. Moore playing a great game today.
Yes. Had some good controlled aggression with those throws. Oh, I think that was a hit out onto Barry. Yep. Panay connecting and Cooper knocked out on the opposite wing.
People are letting us know that PEI has the best chocolate milk. What makes it so special? Let us know in the comments.
I've never thought about chocolate milk being like good or not good before.
Neither have I, actually. I generally just buy Carnation Instant Breakfast, the chocolate stuff, and I mix it in the morning so that I don't have to eat a regular breakfast.
James knocked out in the corner.
Yeah. You can see empty fan there.
Big fakes from Somerville.
Yep, fakes are a great way to get information for people wondering why they're doing it.
Fam going across, just missing Panay.
She almost clipped her in the shorts there. I've been saying this for a while now, but soon we're going to see everyone just playing in essentially just like bicycle suits. Nobody's going to want any baggy clothing as the sport develops into a professional.
Remember those leotards that wrestlers in the 80s would wear?
That's exactly what I'm imagining.
Yeah. I'm going to get a one-strapper for myself.
You know what? You're going to Barry, right?
Yeah.
If you do it, I'll do it.
All right, I just have to figure out where to buy one, and I'm in.
All right. I'll have to get my team to forgive me. I'll be out in Barrie on Team Space Cadets. We just went on, I think it was Redbubble, and found a really cute shirt with dogs in astronaut uniforms, and named our team after it. There's a nice little tidbit for those of you who are thinking about joining Dodgeball and maybe find the idea of putting together a team a bit intimidating. Rather than going to a custom shirt supplier, one of the things you can do is just go on a t-shirt website, find a shirt you all agree that you like, and oh, dirty block on empty fam there.
I think that second ball got underneath her blocker.
Yeah, absolutely. That way you guys can all have a uniform look. Honestly, teams that all wear the same thing tend to do better. They just gel a little more. They feel a little more serious, a little more into it. And it always looks good when everybody is uniform. Because everybody's on opposite sides of the court, it's not as necessary to dress the same like it would be in floor hockey or any other sport that you may play recreationally, but it's still important that your team feel like a team.
I think it always makes for a better experience, but see, Somerville there did get clipped out. She was facing down multiple opponents, so A tough spot to be in, but Armada very much in control of this match right now.
Absolutely.
Again, Looney Tunes is going to be looking for any way they can find to get some momentum for themselves. And here we go, 16 and a half minutes remaining in the second half. Oh, Trivedi bounces that one over onto Barry. Now we see the throw from Abu Risk is missing. Now the Armada 3 balls strong. See Taylor, Panay, and Rempel coming up to the line. That's Taylor with the throw right into Morrison. And that is a successful out. Armada still 6 players. 4 balls in the hands of Looney Tunes. I think Rempel blocked that one cleanly.
Armada still with a commanding lead. 15 minutes roughly left in the second half. It's going to be very difficult for Looney Tunes to bring this back, if they can at all.
2 shots onto Cooper, connecting. And Looney Tunes just in a tough position here. Trivedi toward Taylor, missing. And just 1 ball now in the hands of James. Trivedi going low. Does get tagged. Still 4 balls for the Armada. Abu Risk getting that second ball in hand. And James hit. Could not get the block low enough. Abu Risk, once again, last player left alive for Looney Tunes.
Fighting an uphill battle for sure. Pretty much this entire tournament, or at least during playoffs, I've noticed that Looney Tunes has been just fighting for every inch that they're getting. Oh, Pinay almost touching that with her fingers, but getting them out of the way last minute. The last second would be more accurate. Have a risk. Oh!
Went for the catch. Found the second one, I think, but that first ball had already gone dead, so.
Absolutely. I'm going to take this opportunity to shout out to all of our sponsors. We had Inland Aggregates, M Group, Bluestone Homes, Permission Click. They did all the forms for us in addition to other things. Henderson Physiotherapy, Sensi, Empower Bootcamp, and of course the ones we mentioned earlier were Domino's Pizza, as well as the On Track Media, who lent us all the equipment. And lastly, the 2 local dodgeball leagues that play with the WDBF rules. That would be Dodgeball Winnipeg and Winnipeg Minor Dodgeball, who I believe made cash donations just to help see this event happen.
And I think it's been pretty successful overall, even dealing with some adversity. Oh, more
Absolutely.
hit out.
We had some issue with the net systems when we were setting up for the second day of the event, but thanks to a few people sacrificing their night, we were able to run the tournament completely on time for all of Friday and Saturday. Oh, looks like we got some Russians in the stream.
Oh, I'm curious if what kind of dodgeball might be played in Russia. I legit have not heard much about it one way or another.
Neither have I. I am not able to read Cyrillic, so if anybody can translate what was said there, let us know how they play dodgeball in Russia and if they'd love to come compete sometime.
The Creamer hit out there. Looney Tunes with the 5-on-4 advantage. Cooper holding the only ball. Ooh, Morrison could not squeeze that ball in her fingertips. The Armada has evened up the player count. 4-4. 13:20 remaining in the second half. Oh, and there's a block by Rempel. Sky clearing that ball. Thrown her way. Now we see Wilson, Taylor, Sky, and Rempel advancing. And Pham gets hit out.
Oh, we've got viewers from Brazil. I can tell by the hua hua.
And good jump by Taylor, avoiding those 2 balls.
Absolutely. Sky looks like winding up.
Ooh, Taylor there. That time got hit, though.
Now you'll notice a lot of tape on Wilson's fingers. For a lot of people who deal with finger jams on a regular basis, you want to buddy them up so that they don't get damaged in future.
Yeah, finger jam, even though it's not the most severe injury, takes quite a while to recover from, and predictably it really hampers how well you can play dodgeball. But Wilson playing pretty well. Oh, Caster's curse, perhaps. She gets tagged on the shoulder. Sky out as well. Now it's just Jen Rempel, the other captain of the team, against Trivedi and James. 5 balls on her side. Missing Trivedi on that one. Now we see Rempel. Ooh, Trivedi looking for that catch. Maybe a little ill-advised. James right into the block. You see Rempel wind up. Ooh. Hit the ball retriever. Now the count is on James, captain of Looney Tunes. Missing high. Rempel just going low, adopting a defensive posture. Now we see Rempel. Oh, bounces that one well short. That one going high. Bit of back and forth. Both women missing the mark so far.
This is about to get really exciting. Deadspin has linked to us. Big shout out to Deadspin. Thanks for promoting our stream. If you want to go back and watch some of the archives, there are some absolutely incredible displays of dodgeball from this entire weekend. If you like what you're seeing here, there's about 20 hours of content that you can watch that isn't live right now. Show your support for Dodgeball Canada. Subscribe. It's only $4.99 a month, I believe. Well worth it. We plan to bring more events. This is just the first. Having the time of my life here.
Oh, Rempel blocking that one down into her shins.
Putting Looney Tunes up to 3 points. There's only a 4-point differential, so they can bring it back. But I would say if Armada scores even one more point, that's game.
That's going to be tough for sure. One thing to mention that we haven't called out in a little while, not only is this the national championship for both the men's and women's divisions, but the National Team Selection Committee is watching the play here, looking to identify the candidates for Team Canada for the upcoming WDBF World Championships.
Absolutely.
Ooh, Morrison gets hit, but I think the call might be that that ball didn't clear.
Right, so for those of you unfamiliar with the dodgeball rules that we use, in WDBF play, a ball that is brought off of the center line in the opening rush must travel over the activation line before it is eligible to knock players out. That's what makes it a live ball. If you throw that ball before it has been activated, unfortunately it will not knock a player out.
And that activation line is just the black line about 10 feet back from the center red line. So that ball's just got to go back a little ways before it can be thrown at an attacking player. That said, you'll probably see some of the teams are so fast getting to that ball and pitching it back to a teammate that it doesn't take long. You can get caught flat-footed at the line and potentially suffer for it. We had a timeout called, I think, by Looney Tunes.
Yeah, I believe they're trying to break the momentum of the Avonlea Armada. Our players from PEI, lots of young guns on this team. PEI in general, lots of young players coming out, just shaking up everything. They've taken the competitive scene by storm, and they have a very deep lineup for such a small province. So much talent out there.
You see, Pinay hit out. Yeah, I think last year in Halifax at last year's national championship was kind of the coming out party for both teams. They both looked fantastic.
Absolutely. Last year in Halifax as well was Winnipeg's first time out, and they didn't do so hot.
I'd say Strike did.
Yeah, Strike made the playoffs, I believe. That being said, the Winnipeg teams, they came back. Instead of putting their tail between their legs, they took it to heart. They started practicing, brought out a net night in their local league. The players have been practicing on their own as well ever since the provincials with their teams, and they had a great showing in this tournament comparatively. I think everybody proud of how Team Manitoba did.
Yeah, I think the Manitoba team's looking substantially better than last year. Oh, Nancy Trivedi making that catch off her own body.
All right, now you're going to see Sky trying to run the clock. That would be her best source of, her best decision in this case. Best course of action is what I was trying to say there.
There's a block by Barry. The counter from Trivedi. Not quite finding the target. I also want to give a call out to the the Alberta teams generally that I think just seem to be so much stronger than last year. Huge improvements in the scenes and the showings from those players. Really tough to play against Arsenal for my team this week.
Absolutely. The thing about Alberta is they primarily play with rubber balls, so they've been trying to convert to foam so that they can join people on the national and the world stage. Oh, Fam getting knocked out there, so that leaves it 3-on-1.
Yeah, Sky doing a great job of whittling down her opponents.
Absolutely. All about whittling.
Somerville going low. Morrison right into the blocking balls. So
nice, clean block.
we've got Somerville and Morrison out of Hamilton, Ontario. Abu Risk plays out of Toronto. And Sky from the island of PEI.
Oh, she's moving over to the other side.
And I think those found her, yep. Well-timed throws from Looney Tunes to finally lock down that point.
Looney Tunes making a comeback. Armada needs one more point.
Just as an update on the other court, it is 14-3 for Kick-Ass with about 3 minutes remaining over the Thunder from Edmonton. And, I mean, Kick-Ass continuing their dominance. They have looked very, very strong in this tournament. They will face whoever wins the match in front of us in the finals.
I've been informed that Abu Risk is also from PEI.
Oh, yeah, I did know that.
Anybody wondering what that yellow line on the ground is, that's just a warning line for the women's. So for the women's division, they have that blue line, which is about 5 feet closer because the women's court lines are 10 feet in total shorter than the men's lines. But it was brought up that after this change was made to the rules, that the men got to use the women's lines as a warning line, but the women had nothing. So they brought that yellow warning line in for the women's teams, and I can't see why anybody would have a problem with it.
Panay trying to make the heads-up play to kind of bump that ball back into play, but she was already out of bounds. Yeah, good effort. Again, I really appreciate the effort, but
got to go for it.
Yep. Who knows? You might even draw in a throw by the opponents who don't realize how far out of play you are, so always worth trying. Now Looney Tunes coming up. Oh, they did not get those throws away in time, so the 10-second count elapsed before Looney Tunes let go of the ball. Rempel, I believe, had been hit out, but throws weren't in time, so all 6 balls in the hands of Avonlea Armada players.
If there's a turning point in this game, that would be it. They are not happy with the referees, but he's saying pay attention, I guess. Big shout out to our referees who have, refs, many of them well over 30 hours of dodgeball this weekend.
You see Connor Cooper hit out in the wing. Armada going for Morrison, but she gets under that ball.
Absolutely.
James taking over the corner from Pham.
I was expecting them to press that advantage a little more, but it seems like instead they're just running the time down, which is definitely the right attitude to have right now. Looney Tunes is going to be really hungry for those points. Taylor just chucking them into the ground right now.
Yeah, not as accurate as I'm sure she'd like to be in these last few throws, but team's still got a lead to work with.
Someone says they'd love a warning line for the center line. There is one. It is called the activation line. And it's 10 feet back from the center line. Oh, and Morrison with the catch.
Bringing Barry back. We see throws toward Walker, who great slide, moving 6 or 7 feet to the side.
Absolutely. That was electric. It's a little reference for any of the older folks watching. If anybody came here from Deadspin, let us know in the comments.
5.5 minutes remaining in this match. Armada with the 3-point lead. There's a preemptive attack throw by Abu Risk, nodding that she missed that one. She knows she maybe didn't want to take it. One ball back over.
Oh, okay, I thought she was walking off for a second. I was wondering what was happening there.
Players told to get back onto the back line so that play can restart.
Absolutely. Players must start with 1 foot on the black line. Sorry, on the back line.
Currently a blue line, but we will see how Looney Tunes goes about trying to close this one out. Oh, Rempel with a good block there on the shot from Barry.
Realistically, Looney Tunes only needs to win 2 points so that they can get a sudden death and then put it into a tie position. And since this is playoffs, then we'll be playing overtime.
Now Armada once again, all 6 balls.
Yeah, well, Looney Tunes is really, really needing to be aggressive, so I can see why they've been taking all those shots.
Yep, just need to connect on them again. Find that accuracy they had against Prairie Fire.
For those asking, play didn't actually stop. Just that Armada had all 6 balls, so they decided that they would, I guess, take it a little easier. Don't need to keep their guard up.
Congregated the back line, figure out their plan.
Now, for anybody wondering why all the balls went over to Armada at that time, we'll explain the throw timer again. So there must be a throw every 10 seconds in a game of dodgeball. Now, when it gets into it and the referees start counting down, the team that has the most number of balls is the one required to make the throw. If both teams have the same number of balls, then it goes to whichever team has the most number of players. If those numbers are equal, then it goes to whichever team didn't throw last. And if nobody's thrown yet in this round, you go by whoever won the last round, and if it's the first round of the game, you go by whoever is higher in the seed. Now, it's important to remember as well that it doesn't matter which team throws, it resets the clock. So if you have the burden to throw, get down to 1 or 2 seconds left, and the other team takes a shot at you, that does reset the throw clock.
We see an attempt toward Wilson. Looney Tunes, 5 players.
Was Taylor called there on a line call, or what happened?
I am not sure.
This would be, I believe, women's semifinals.
Yeah. And wow, looks like Walker hit out, leaving just Wilson.
This will be a huge upset if Looney Tunes manages to pull it out.
Timeout called, yeah. Armada's had all 6 balls twice. Once due to a throw clock violation, and once just due to Looney Tunes actually throwing the 3 balls that they had. But Armada also not managing to connect on enough throws to make a difference here, so.
No one has been caught using performance-enhancing drugs in dodgeball that we're aware of, for the people wondering. However, Dodgeball Canada is a member of an organization that can submit drug tests if anybody believes that's what's happening. Most people don't use drugs, they just take their BCAAs. The amino acids helps them clear the lactic acid off their muscles. Wilson's going to be looking again just to run the timer down.
Yeah, if she can grind this clock down, that'll go a long way toward the Armada advancing to the finals against Kick-Ass, who just wrapped up their match against Thunder, 16-3.
For everybody who's new to this and hasn't played dodgeball before, dodgeball happens worldwide. If you like what you see here, look for a league in your local city or town and see what you can do. There's absolutely levels of play for everyone. It's very accessible. All you need is a pair of indoor shoes, unless, of course, you're in Malaysia and playing on the beach. Malaysia, one of the most competitive countries in dodgeball.
I feel like if we mention the beach and don't say how sweet apparently PEI's beach is, they'll get a little upset with us. So
yeah, I've heard that they've got a beach dodgeball tournament out there played on a real beach. Here's what'll happen when the ball goes in the ocean, though. How do you get that back if a ball just goes flying? Some players here have, actually most players here probably radar shots over 100 kilometers an hour. If you send that ball high, it could just go flying into the water.
Yeah, I've played in a beach league before. Struggled to keep it in play sometimes.
A beach league?
Yep.
That sounds delightful.
Well, it was in Ottawa. Not exactly known for its beaches. Ottawa, Ontario, lovely city, just not an amazing beach city.
Look at those shots. They've got both side spin and top spin dropping down there right at Fam's feet.
Yeah, Wilson with a great throw. Hard to read. And, oh, got tagged on the hip, she says. Great work, though. Burning some time.
Armada has to win this next point, otherwise we are very likely looking at Looney Tunes having an ability to bring it back.
We got 2 minutes and 3 seconds on the clock.
Now, I tried to start a beach dodgeball night locally here in Winnipeg. We were playing out on some beach volleyball courts at a I think it was a water skiing place. However, it was on Friday nights and people just didn't come out.
To say, beach dodgeball, you get the benefit of the sun. You also get the benefit of the rain sometimes. And let me just say that...
Almost saw Skyfall out.
When the...
Chicken Little's coming because the sky is falling.
When you see the weather turn bad, it's not, Abarisk looking for it. Drop that catch. Yeah, playing on a sandy beach right after rain or during rain, that part's not as much fun. So
I agree. We had a beach dodgeball tournament not too long ago at the newly built beach volleyball center here in Manitoba, and
Trevetti. She's made a few of those, but couldn't find that one. Could not catch that ball.
Just looking for it. See, Armada not really looking to be too aggressive.
Throw from Rempel missing high. Ooh, there's an attack on a Creamer. Cooper connecting. Cooper again. Ooh, just missing.
Nailing that ball shagger. For those of you wondering why we call them shaggers, I have no idea. Officially, they're called ball retrievers.
Yeah, I don't know where that term actually came from or why it sticks in dodgeball, but
if you're from Europe and you play dodgeball, let us know what you call the shaggers.
They probably don't call it that.
I would assume they don't, but who knows?
Good block from Sky. Oh, and there's the... Fam was not looking forward, and good recognition.
I wasn't looking forward either. I was watching that ball shagger catch that ball right before cross center. Now, ball shaggers are only allowed to shag on their side of center.
You see James with a good counter, taking out Taylor. We got 3-on-3, 15 seconds left. James missing. Panay looking for the catch.
Looking for the catch. They're going to wait for that throw clock.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. Just nailed on top of the head. But now they can just wait for that clock. Oh, and another headshot.
Now, as time expires, that means Armada advances. Basically, had Looney Tunes been able to close out at that point, they would have forced an overtime. But no luck. So the Avon the Armada advancing to the finals against Kick-Ass out of Ontario, and Looney Tunes going home after a very impressive showing, advancing all the way to a hard-fought semis from the 7th seed in the round robin.
If I'm not mistaken, did Looney Tunes win every round in the second half?
I don't think it was every, but I think it was all but one. I could be wrong.
Yeah, it was either 6-0 or 6-1 or something like that at half. I think it was 6-1. It was a huge lead. So for everybody wondering, Armada took a huge lead early on there, and then Looney Tunes clawing it back at the end, but there just wasn't enough time on the clock. And unless you have anything else to add, I think we should go to commercials.
Sounds good to me. We'll see you soon.